This is part 2 of building the Refridgerator Smoker. So as you can see right here, we have welded up the firebox. This front plate is actually going to come off. The reason that we had it tacked on is so that we didn't warp the steel when we put our welds all on the inside of the box. So this front will come off. We will actually put angle iron, 4 pieces of angle around the edge to make our face plate, and then this front plate will become a door. We'll cut it out with the plasma torch, put it in there. Inside the box, inside the door, we'll have angle channels at the bottom for an ashtray, and then above that, about an inch, we'll have more angle. We'll build our firebox tray. This is the edge of it, or the side. So as you can see, it's about 6 inches tall. It'll have inch-tall floor grate steel in the bottom of the firebox for the floor of it, so it can breathe. It'll be a real tight firebox. The top will be covered. There'll be a gap in the back of it to feed our heat up through the flue on the cooker. If you come over here, you can see that now we've gotten the inner cavity out of this refrigerator. We've taken one of the door panels off. We've taken all the insulation out, and it's just leaving a stainless shell. Inside the doors, you can see right here that we have wood. And I think that'll be alright when we're smoking, because we're not going to be at a high enough temperature to really affect that. This will also be covered with stainless. These were plates that fit in here. They're made out of Bakelite that held the inner cavity in and filled the seam between the stainless and the inner cavity that was stainless. We're having these made in stainless steel to replace the Bakelite, and we will weld those in so that we'll have a flush seam between the new, when we put the stainless cavity back in, and between the outer shell. So we'll have rock wool insulation on all sides around the inner cavity, and then we'll seam it with a piece of flat stainless that'll go all the way around this door edge. We'll fill the doors with the rock wool insulation, put the faceplate back on, and then we'll put silicone, red silicone seal on the edge to make sure that we get a tight seal when the doors close. If we come around the back, as you can see, I've had my chimneys fabbed up, and then I've also had my heat flue fabbed. So the firebox will slide in. It'll be underneath the body. We will cut a gap on this floor, the width of this flue. Once the main cavity is back in, this flue will come up behind it. The heat will come out of the firebox, up through the flue against the back wall of the cavity, and we'll have a gap in the top right here, about 5 inches of a gap where we'll feed the heat into the main body of the cooking chamber. You can see we had the chimneys made. They'll sit in the body here, and actually they'll feed out through the top of the unit, and they'll vent through the bottom of the cooking cavity and then vent out the top. So we'll have to cut the top to make sure that we have those gaps, and the chimneys will fit right in. Once that's done, we'll insulate, and then we'll put a back on the back of the unit. So that's it for this part of phase 2. We're going to have phase 3 here in the next couple of weeks. Make sure and check out the website at www.peglegporker.com. See you soon.